Hi, Peppers. If you're in grade 4 and you're about to go into your grade 4 PEP, you don't need to be scared. I know this is the first time that you're going to be doing PEP, and you've been hearing all kinds of stories about PEP and PEP and PEP and PEP. You've been hearing it from the grade 5s and the grade 6 who have already gone and done theirs, maybe persons in years before who you knew, and they're telling you their experience and they're trying to make you feel scared. You don't need to be scared, because guess what? I have some tips for you. And once you follow these tips, you're going to be just fine. And if you have been on the channel going through the grade 4 playlist, covering all those grade 4 topics, you're absolutely going to be fine. We also have live videos that we have been doing, many live videos that we did for grade 4, grade 5, grade 6 PEP. So once you put up your tent and keep watching those videos, keep practicing, you're gonna be all right and you're gonna ace your grade 4 PEP. So let's go through the tips. Now remember, for grade 4 PEP, you need to practice at home in addition to the instruction that you get at school and the work that you do at school. When you get home in your free time, your spare time, you need to factor in maybe half an hour, 45 minutes per day at least to go over what you've done, keep it fresh in your memory, and then you'll be able to see if there was anything that you didn't quite grasp, so that when you get back to school, you can ask your teacher, or just type in the comments if there's something that you want me to explain, and I will definitely come back and explain it to you. Now, the literacy and numeracy exams, they are going to be testing your skills in mathematics and basic English grammar, punctuation, and comprehension. Now, as the test approaches in June, the first tip that I want you to have in mind is to know the two different tests, what each one entails. The literacy will cover areas like reading the text, so comprehension, answering questions, short story writing tasks. And the numeracy will look at real life math stories with multiple steps, and both want you to show your thinking process. The second tip, sleep and have a healthy breakfast to ensure that you have maximum brain power on the day of your exam. 9 to 11 hours of sleep for grade 4 is ideal. Eat lots of fruits and veggies, drink your water, make sure that you have a balanced breakfast so you're optimum energy to tackle that exam. No candy, no sweets to make you agitated, no games in the middle of the night. You're going to get your full night's rest, and you don't need to be on the phone with your friends, scaring each other and unnecessarily making the process more nerve-wracking than it needs to be. Just be calm and know that you're gonna ace this test. The third tip, when you start the exam, ensure that you read all the instructions first, and then you're going to go back over a second reading where you underline the keywords and know exactly what is being asked from you. So the task might have several parts. A, B, C, D. You can lose marks if you do not do all the parts. If you just stop at A or B without completing C and D, definitely you're going to be losing marks. So what you can do when you come to each question is to scan the question so you know all the different parts that are necessary to ensure that you have answered all these parts. Tip 4, for the literacy, number your paragraphs or lines fast. So just go through them and quickly put your number beside them, because questions might ask you particular information about a specific line or a specific paragraph, and you want to make sure that you go to the right paragraph or line when you're answering. So it might say, give evidence from paragraph 2. And you don't want to be wasting time counting again. So while you're going through, just quickly number them, the lines, and number the paragraphs, so you can go back when the question asks. Tip number 5, use RACE, the acronym RACE, for supplying your answers. So that's R for restate, A for answer, C for cite the evidence, and E for explain. So restate the question, answer the question, cite evidence from the source, for example, in line 6, and put those in quotation marks. The direct words from the source should be in quotation marks, and you explain why you chose that answer. Even 2-mark questions like full sentences. So you're going to answer in complete sentences. For example, the girl was happy because she clapped her hands. Tip number 6, for the writing task, plan 2 minutes first. So if it's a story, a letter, or a recount, you can make sure that the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, why, and then how, go back and look where those questions are answered. What is the problem, right? And check the end of the paragraph to see how the paragraph is resolved, how the situation is resolved. So you are going to use the paragraphs when you're doing your writing task. Make sure to indent, start your sentences with capital letters. Also, experiment with different ways of starting your sentences, like suddenly, or after that, or luckily, just interesting words to pull in the reader to the essay that you're writing or the writing task. Tip number 7, check using SPAG, spelling, punctuation, capital letters, well, typically grammar. So spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Read it back in your head, and if you run out of breath, you need to put a full stop there to hold that space. For the numeracy, use rucksack, RUCSAC. Read, understand, choose the operation that you're going to use, solve, answer, check. Make sure the answer is identifiable and clearly stated. This is my final answer. Write it in the corner if it helps. Now, tip number 9, show all steps and don't forget your units. For example, 12 times 3 equals 36. That's a good answer. But if you write 12 mangoes times 3 boxes equal 36 mangoes is better. Where units are used and you leave out the units, you will lose marks even if 36 is the right answer. So you need to put in your units. And units can be mangoes. If they ask how many mangoes, don't just say 36. Say 36 mangoes. You can draw your models if it will help you to visualize what the question is asking, and you're also going to show the examiner that you understand what the scenario is. Tip number 10, underline the actual question. The story might say, Sasha bought 3 packs of pencils. Each pack has 6 pencils. She gave 5 to her brother. How many does she have left? Underline have left. Don't stop at 18. Tip 11, estimate to check. So you're going to check your answer to see if it really makes sense, right? So if 20 times 3 should be around 60 and you got 600, that means you added an extra 0. PEP loves real life scenarios. So they're going to be asking you about money, they're going to be asking you about time and measurement, right? So you need to check back when you get your answer. Does this answer even make sense in real terms? Now, your final minutes of the exam, tip number 12, never leave any blank questions and manage your time. So for a 60-minute test, ideally, you could spend 10 minutes reading through the entire paper, 40 minutes answering the questions, 10 minutes to check. If you are stuck, put an asterisk, a little star, and move on, and then you can come back to that question. If you have to guess, make a calculated guess, a common sense guess, and don't forget to eliminate those absurd answers that could not possibly be correct. If you eliminate those answers, it narrows down the options and make it more probable that you will choose the correct one. So if you make a guess and you show you're working out, you can still get some method marks, some marks for your methodology, even if the answer is incorrect. So as opposed to just getting a 0 for not trying at all, you can get some method marks. The grade 4 PEP, it tests literacy and numeracy. So can you find information? Can you infer feelings? Can you write clearly? Can you solve 2 to 3 step problems and explain how you solve it? The biggest myth is that it's not about being the fastest, right? Being the fastest to complete the exam, that's not the best. That is a myth. It is about being clear. It is about being accurate, right? And showing all your working. So you get a neat, well thought out answer with all the steps. So you can get the maximum marks that is available, right? So grade 4 peppers, I know the PEP is new to you and you've been hearing all about it and you might be a little scared. That is normal, but I assure you, once you follow these steps, you're going to be good to go. So keep hanging out on the channel and going through the grade 4 playlist. I think the grade 4 playlist has well over 100 videos. So definitely we have all your bases covered and you will be perfectly fine.